This is the 7th Game 7 for Kawhi Leonard in his career.
Kawhi,
he is 3-3.
But just what can you say about the impact that he made in tonight's game starting in the second half?
Just gave us some spacing on the floor offensively, as well defensively, just being active, guarding Jokic, showing a second hand on him, able to come over and get some good blocks on the weak side. That's what he did tonight.
And you obviously have a lot of deep playoff experience. Is there anything that you tell your teammates going into Game 7 about just what that environment's going to be like on the road?
That we've been there before. We played there. This is going to be our 4th time. So just play like any other game. Let's go out there and have fun. Let's stay locked in with each other. And got to talk. And, like I said before, they're a good team at home. So we got to be able to come out in that first quarter.
Kawhi, Ty talked about calling all of you guys, checking your temperature. What do you think that meant to each individual, to the team, to have him do that?
What you mean by calling?
You said that he called everybody to talk about the game over 36 hours, just to check you guys, make sure you guys are all staying positive and know that you could win this game.
Oh, yeah, he usually does that. It was nothing new other than it was nothing new, like during the season. Winning streaks or losing streaks, he's calling us just to see what we feel with the lineup and, getting inside of how we should play defensively with matchups or whatever. It's really working for the player. He's pretty good at that.
Kawhi, just the performance James had, knowing that, he's probably looking forward to bouncing back. Like, what was the conversations like with him going into today, right before the game, and how did you feel like he was able to, managing it through in 45-some minutes?
He's been here before. Like I had said before, guys have games when they don't play well during the season. So it's just another game. So I knew he was going to be able to come back or he was going to be aggressive and try to get to his spots. And, his skill showed that he was able to make shots tonight.
Kawhi, you said, this is going to be your 4th time that you guys have been going to Denver in this series. You guys have won there. Is that something you can draw on, that you guys have won there previously in this series and use that going into a Game 7?
Yeah, I guess so. We know we can have the confidence to know that we have one, like you said. But it's going to be a different game. Like I said, we got to come out aggressive in the first quarter and hold them, make sure they don't get a big lead on us.
Coach Ty talked about Zoo being a monster defensively tonight against Jokic. Can you talk about what it does for the other 4 players on the court when you have a big man like Zoo who doesn't back down from a guy like Yo?
It's great, you know what I mean? He's very competitive. That's what you want on your team, guys that's just wanting to compete, you know what I mean? Even if he has a skill to compete and to play great. But with me, I just want guys that, have that mindset of just wanting to get through a challenge or take on a challenge, win, lose, or draw. And Zoo does that.
3 in his career as well.
Wake up, James. Wake up!
James, Ty talked about the space that Nico was able to give you and Kawhi to operate with in that second half. Can you just talk about the impact that he made on both ends?
Yeah, man, Nico did it on both ends tonight. Defensively, he was getting after it. A couple huge block shots, chasing Murray around, switching, 1 through 5. Offensively, shooting his shot, making some good passes. He did a little bit of everything tonight, and it was a much-needed win for us.
Obviously, like I said, Ty mentioned that he was able to give you more space, but it did feel like you were able to get going even before you guys made that adjustment. What was the big difference for you between Game 5 and Game 6?
I was going over offense and what needed to be done for me to be aggressive. So we talked about it, we showed it, and we did it.
James, I believe this is the first time since the bubble that you won a game facing elimination at Game 7 OKC. Like, what was it like for you to just say, this team, the season that y'all had, it's not ending tonight?
Just win or go home. You know, we still had some mistakes tonight, but I think our energy defensively and even offensively, our aggressiveness was different. You know what I mean? Which starts with me. So watch some film, get better, figure out things that I can continue to get better at, and do one more game.
And then finally, just following up, like this next game, like y'all have had the experience of playing in Denver. Y'all know how tough that is, and you've emphasized starting better. Like, how does it happen for
Just gotta go do it. Just gotta go do it. I think adding shooting out there helps us offensively, and then defensively just, I think we watched film before the game and we gave up in our first half, I think like 30-some points just off things that we can control, you know what I mean? And so, we correct those things and, we give ourselves a chance.
James, sorry, at the back here. Ty said before the game, he kind of took it on himself that you weren't as involved in Game 5. He said that, that's the scheme. I got to get him some more space.
Yep.
And yet you took a lot of the criticism afterwards. How do you take that and then move on to Game 6 and have a night like tonight?
I mean, I didn't see the criticism at all. But internally, I know what needs to be done. Or, so I had multiple conversations with T-Lou, and even after Game 5, he came up to me on the plane and was like, I need to get you more involved. And just because I got the ball in my hands, it seems like I can just do anything, but, we still got an offense to run. So tonight, the game plan was more of me being in attack mode and making sure our spacing was right. And as a result, I'll be aggressive.
Also, just as a quick follow, I know it's late, but you did play 47 minutes. There was a yawn in there. Get some energy drink.
Tired.
Yeah.
A little bit.
You got another 47, 48 in Denver?
Got to.
Or is it?
Yeah, have to. Like, it is what it is. I miss a part of it. So, whatever the team needs, 47, 48, overtime, whatever, I'm willing to do it.
James, on that note, you have a pretty heavy workload during the regular season and try to play every game. In what ways do you think that prepares you for now?
Yeah, definitely. Prepares your body, physically, to be able to, withstand and sustain and just, be able to, play both ends of the ball. Your legs is tired, so you've been there before, you know what I mean? So for me, it's just, finding my spots. And in the second half, they did a better job of loading to the ball, which, we'll watch film and get better at that. And then, spacing, Nico hit a big three. And just, finding more ways to attack them and be more aggressive.
James, what does it take to win a Game 7, and what would it take for you guys to win a Game 7?
Attention to detail, for, a full game, however long that game is, whether it's regulation, overtime, but attention to detail. Like Jokic he's just special in the sense of like, he can score the basketball, but he's more deadlier when he's, playmaking and getting everybody else involved. You know what I mean? So it's 1 second that you think you should be helping, or you do help, you'll pay for it. So it's like you really got to be, on your P's and like locked in on what you're supposed to be doing. And then it's like who you're guarding. So, for us, I think understanding what we're doing as a team, and then, individually, limiting our mistakes, because, whatever team can make the opposite team make the most mistakes, you could.